Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, Daily Bread. Title: Mercy in the Midst of Judgment. Jeremiah chapter 39, verse 1 to 18, key verse 18. I will save you. You will not fall by the sword, but will escape with your life, because you trust in me, declares the Lord. The fall of Jerusalem. This is how Jerusalem was taken. In the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army and laid siege to it. And on the 9th day of the 4th month of Zedekiah's 11th year, the city wall was broken through. Then all the officials of the king of Babylon came and took seats in the middle gate. Nergal-Sharezer of Samgar, Neber-Sarsekim, a chief officer, Nergal-Sharezer, a high official, and all the other officials of the king of Babylon. When Zedekiah, king of Judah, and all the soldiers saw them, they fled. They left the city at night by way of the king's garden, through the gate between the two walls, and headed toward the Arabah. But the Babylonian army pursued them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. They captured him and took him to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, at Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he pronounced sentence on him. There at Riblah, the king of Babylon slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and also killed all the nobles of Judah. Then he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him with bronze shackles to take him to Babylon. The Babylonians set fire to the royal palace and the houses of the people and broke down the walls of Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, carried into exile to Babylon the people who remained in the city, along with those who had gone over to him, and the rest of the people. But Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, left behind in the land of Judah some of the poor people who owned nothing, and at that time he gave them vineyards and fields. Now Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had given these orders about Jeremiah through Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard. Take him and look after him. Don't harm him, but do for him whatever he asked. So Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, Nebuchadnezzar, a chief officer, Nergal-Sharezer, a high official, and all the other officers of the king of Babylon, sent and had Jeremiah taken out of the courtyard of the guard. They turned him over to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, to take him back to his home. So he remained among his own people. While Jeremiah had been confined in the courtyard of the guard, the word of the Lord came to him. Go and tell Ebed-Melech the Cushite, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I am about to fulfill my words against this city, words concerning disaster, not prosperity. At that time, they will be fulfilled before your eyes. But I will rescue you on that day, declares the Lord. You will not be given into the hands of those you fear. I will save you. You will not fall by the sword, but will escape with your life, because you trust in me, declares the Lord. Daily Bread. First, King Zedekiah's weak faith and leadership led to Jerusalem's fall. In the end, Zedekiah could not save himself, his people, or his capital city. His rejection of God's message and wishy-washy leadership led to a hard fall. Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians exactly as God said it would. Sometimes We are so stubborn to listen to God until we experience a rock bottom. Then we see clearly where we went wrong in turning away from God and following our own plans and ideas. But if we listen carefully to lessons in the Bible and prayerfully look for God's will, we don't need to get that far. We can catch ourselves and be open to God's correction earlier, so that it doesn't lead to disaster in the end. Ultimately, even the bad decisions we see in the Bible prompt us to examine if we are on the right track in following God or not. Second, God saves Jeremiah and Ebed-Melech. Jeremiah was a faithful messenger of God's word, and Ebed-Melech, driven by faith, was the one who saved Jeremiah from the cistern. They did what was right in God's eyes. So God protected them, even in the middle of a deadly and catastrophic war. Amazingly, Ebed-Melech received a personal promise from God. I will save you. You will not fall by the sword, but will escape with your life, because you trust in me, declares the Lord. Ebed-Melech was nobody special or of high importance, and he's only mentioned a few times in these chapters. But God recognized his beautiful faith. In this generation of people who turn away from God, he was like a shining jewel in God's eyes. Let's strive to be shining, living examples of faith in our world as we follow Jesus. Even though we're ordinary people, we can make a great impact with our extraordinary faith. Let's live to honor God and lead others to Him. Prayer. Lord, please help me trust in your word and live out my faith boldly. I trust you are with me, and I want to experience the blessing of obediently following you with courage and conviction. One word: live with extraordinary faith in God.